This chamber represents.
Why does your light light up
Unravel
when
2,
I go?
because Joseph Farah.
What is the best co-op game of all time? Is it a classic like Portal 2?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
A chaotic experience like Overcooked?
You see the recipes in the top left there, Mark? You know how that works?
Yeah, I got it.
Or maybe something deeper like It Takes Two?
Oh, there it is.
Co-op games have been around for decades, bringing friends together for unforgettable moments. Whether it's through impossible odds, emotional stories, or just pure chaos, these games create some of the best multiplayer experiences out there. But with so many incredible co-op games released, which one truly deserves the title of the best co-op game ever? Some co-op games don't just ask you to work together, they demand it. Portal 2's co-op mode is still one of the most genius multiplayer experiences ever made. Unlike the single player, where you're solving puzzles at your own pace, the co-op mode requires true cooperation. You and your partner control two separate portal guns, and every puzzle requires perfect teamwork to solve. One wrong move, partner gets flung into a pit of acid, or you might find yourself stuck in an endless portal loop. It can be pretty frustrating at times, but when you finally solve a puzzle, it can feel incredibly rewarding. Whereas if you're into mind-bending puzzles with a heavy emphasis on communication, then the We Were Here series should be on your radar. This series separates players completely, forcing you to communicate only through an old-school walkie-talkie. It's basically an escape room on steroids, with one player trapped in one location and the other navigating in a completely different area. The only way to progress this is to describe everything perfectly to your partner and to figure it out together. But that's where the real challenge begins, because when the pressure's on, clear communication is easier said than done. Your partner might misunderstand a crucial detail.
What the hell? I got a guy, he's like saying nuh-uh.
Or you might struggle to describe what you see, leading to confusion or complete panic.
Okay, turn 108 degrees. Stop.
This series isn't just about solving puzzles though, it's about testing how well you and your co-op partner actually work together, whether you come out of it frustrated with each other or as a stronger duo. One thing's for sure though, the We Were Here series delivers a truly unique co-op experience that few other games can match. And then there's Unravel 2, which takes a more relaxed yet deeply engaging approach to co-op. You and your partner control two small yarn-based creatures tethered together by a single thread. Every jump, every puzzle, every platform requires careful coordination, and the result is a game that feels not just fun, but meaningful. What makes Unravel 2 stand out is how it blends puzzle solving with fluid platforming, creating moments where you and your partner have to swing, climb, and time movements perfectly to progress. The game doesn't just encourage teamwork, it demands it, but in a way that feels natural and rewarding. The beautiful handcrafted environments and wordless storytelling makes every level feel like a small adventure, where the connection between the two characters mirrors the teamwork needed to complete the game. These games prove that co-op isn't just about shooting or fighting, it can also just be about problem solving and patience and trust. Sometimes co-op games aren't just about the gameplay though, it's about telling a story, and no game does this better than It Takes Two. This Game of the Year winner isn't just a great co-op game, it's a perfectly designed co-op experience. Every level introduces brand new mechanics, requiring both players to master different skills and combine them in creative ways. No two levels feel the same, and the game constantly reinvents itself by making sure you and your partner are always on your toes. But the real magic of It Takes Two is its story. It's emotional, it's funny, and has a heartfelt narrative. The way it requires both players to work together in unique ways makes it an unforgettable co-op experience. Before It Takes Two, Hazelight Studios also gave us A Way Out, a cinematic prison break adventure that redefined narrative-driven co-op. This isn't just a game that you play together, it's a game where both players are experiencing completely different things at the same time. From cinematic high-stake moments to small competitive minigames, A Way Out keeps co-op players engaged in every way. One of its most memorable sequences has both players climbing a shaft back to back. where you and your partner carefully time each movement to avoid falling. This is a perfect example of how the game builds tension through cooperation. And in between the action, there are plenty of minigames that let you and your partner take a break from the intense story, whether it's arm wrestling, playing Connect 4, or even just seeing who can hit a home run. These moments make a way out feel not just like an escape story, but a shared adventure. Moving on, we have Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which already had a unique experience, but it was later remade with co-op gameplay, because originally the game was a single player and only one controller was needed to play the game. While this created an interesting solo experience, many players found themselves naturally handing the controller to a friend, turning it into an accidental co-op game. With the remake though, that idea is now fully realized, allowing two players to experience the emotional journey together, the way it should have been played. Now, each player takes full control of Brother, making moments of teamwork like crossing bridges, solving puzzles, or walking through a dead forest even more immersive. And with its updated visuals and mechanics on the newest platforms, the remake brings a whole new life to an already unforgettable story. Much like Unravel 2, its wordless storytelling delivers a great story that leaves a lasting impact. And then there's Split Fiction, a co-op game that has everybody raving about, including me. Unlike other co-op games where players share the same POV, Split Fiction keeps things dynamic by shifting views from each character, with also alternating between Mio's and Zoe's stories. Split Fiction breaks the usual co-op formula, as one moment you're solving puzzles together and the next you're thrown into a completely different story with only your partner's word to fill in the blanks. It's less about sticking together and more about how well you and your partner can connect the dots. Now, these games aren't just really fun to play, they stand out because of their amazing stories. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have party co-op games. Overcooked 2 is a co-op game that somehow splits players into two types, those who find it relaxing and almost therapeutic, and those who tend to become a bit more aggressive. While the goal is simple, to just cook and serve food before the time runs out, the reality is that orders pile up, plates need washing, and the kitchen's on fire. So whether you're yelling at your teammates, throwing ingredients to each other, or you fall off the map, it will still have you laughing and queuing up for the next level. And then there's Lethal Company, which blends horror and comedy into one of the most funniest co-op experiences out there. The game forces you and your friends to explore industrial sites while being hunted by monsters. What makes this stand out from other co-op games is that it has proximity chat, which leads to some unforgettable moments. So whether you're cooking under pressure or laughing with the lads, these two games deliver great co-op experiences. Then we have the games that don't just ask for teamwork, they demand perfection. Starting it off, we have Cuphead. This one is hands down my personal favorite. It looks harmless at first with its cute cartoony style, but it's brutally hard, where boss fights throw everything at you and timing is everything. Playing solo already pushes your patience, but co-op takes it to a whole new level. There's more chaos on the screen, more things to dodge, and way more chances to mess up.
What was that?
What do you think it was? It was my goddamn controller.
Now, I've been playing with my partner lately, and let's just say we've had our fair share of rage quits. We usually have to stick to simple mode because anything harder than that and she's ready to throw the controller at my head. Still, even with the chaos, there is no better satisfaction than beating a boss that you've been stuck on for ages. Next up is Helldivers 2, which is a squad-based shooter that throws you into complete chaos. Friendly fire is always on, enemies are overwhelming, and it feels like you're always holding on by a single thread. What makes it so intense is the gunplay and the variety of enemies that you'll face. Sometimes it's a wave of insect-like bugs swarming from everywhere. Other times it's these robotic enemies who are much harder to take down. Then you've got these titans, which are towering bug-like monsters that feel impossible to kill unless your squad is completely in sync.
Getting out of the way.
And finally, there's these alien squid looking things that mess with your visibility and use energy weapons. Every choice matters, from where you throw a stratagem to being aware of your surroundings. But when you pull off a last second extraction, it becomes one of the most intense and rewarding co-op games. And while Helldivers 2 thrives on large-scale chaos, there's a much smaller, quieter co-op game that almost no one talks about. Bread and Fred is a simple concept between two penguins that are tied together trying to climb up a mountain. But it quickly turns into one of the most frustrating games out there, as you and your partner have to stay perfectly in sync with every swing, jump, and climb. and one tiny mistake can send you both falling to the very start. Bread and Fred might not get much attention, but for the people who have played it, it proves that some of the best co-op moments can come from games that no one's really talked about. These games definitely push you to the limit, but when you succeed, it feels super satisfying. So, what is the best co-op game ever? Well, honestly, it's tough to give a definitive answer as it really depends on what you're into, but for puzzles, I'd give it to the We Were Here series. For chaos and laughs, I'd say Overcooked 2. For pure challenge and satisfaction, I'll give it to Cuphead. But if I really had to pick which one truly deserves the title of the best co-op game ever, then I'd say It Takes Two, as the story is incredible, the visuals are stunning, and what made it special for me, at least, is that I played it once with my mate and then again with my partner, and I had just as much fun the second time around. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Let me know what your favorite co-op game is in the comments, or not, that's okay too. And yeah, peace.